more like them that's gonna come in the future, and they ain't gonna be able to stop what's gonna happen.
He gonna make something out of you though, man. He gonna make you something terrible. See what he will do with you, Israel. Okay, he's gonna make you a damn machine, man. He gonna be the Most High's weapon, his secret weapon. A damn machine, man. Alright? He start making fucking robots, we gonna be the Most High's robots, man. How about that? Watch it. You know? Wait till the Lord, wait and see what he gonna do with us. And he gonna change us, man. We gonna be something terrible. Something in your fucking worst nightmare, nigga.
I mean, the ultimate destruction will come from the ultimate God, Yahawashi, okay? Underneath his father, of course. Okay, he's going to be the main one to destroy Esau and his society, okay? But we're going to have a hand in it too, as gods. When I say we, I mean the elect of Yahawashi, who is coming to gather, okay?
Arise, flesh, O daughter of Zion. I will make thine horn iron, and I will make thy hoofs brass, and thou shalt beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gain unto the Lord, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth.
Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Gotta give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles. The great millstone led me to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, willing to be part of that number. Lord, willing to be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. The judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. It is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. The water for tuning in. Everybody coming across the common boy, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Barak, Atham. So we're going to get into this. And Biden, he supposedly wants a new Juicebox. He wants everybody to take it. Also, Putin ally issues World War III threat, and then I got some other various end-time topics the Lord wants me to go across through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So Lord willing, this edifying to the flock. Go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second. Lock here. Grab me something to drink real quick. What else I forget? Nothing. All right. We'll go ahead and get started. So it said President Biden said Friday he plans to request additional funding from Congress for the development of a new Juicebox. That's what I like to call it. You know, it's what I learned from the elders and apostles. That's what they like calling it too. So, you know, adding he may require everyone to take it, whether they previously received a juice box or not. Right? So Biden, who is that's juice boxinating in Lake Tahoe area, right? Because that's where he's on vacation right now. Was asked by a reporter on Friday if he could say anything about the uptick of juice box cases and a new variant, right? He said, yes, I can. The president said, I signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to Congress a request for additional funding for a new juice box that is necessary. So they see last time a lot of people wasn't rocking with the juice box, but they're going to try to make another way to do it again because, you know, the pestilence is coming back. Is what the talk is, and they trying to make people wear masks again, but, you know, us as the hopeful elect, you know how we gonna do. We ain't fucking with it. So he had it tentatively, that's how you say that, Salakia. It is recommended that it will likely be recommended everybody get it no matter whether they have gotten it before or not. Well, you know, we know how, you know, us as believers, we can't trust this devil. So 2 Corinthians, that's where we're going to start. Chapter 2, verse 8. Let's start at 8. All right. And it reads, says, wherefore I beseech you that ye will confirm your love towards him, talking about towards Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Verse 9, for to this end also I did write, that I might know the proof of you, whether ye be obedient in all things, right? Because that's what we're striving for, to be in perfect unison with Yahawah Yahawashi. That's the goal, you know, knowing that we know that in these bodies we're not going to reach it all the way, but we're going to get as close as we can. So verse 10, to whom ye forgive anything, I forgive also. For if I forgave anything to whom I forgave it, for your sakes forgave I it in the person of a Mashiach, right? Because basically what this means is, in the end of it all, he's going to take his wrath off everything, okay? Except Esau, Edom, they're going to be destroyed forever, right? Verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we know this juice box ain't no good for Israel, man. And we know another thing, you got to also remember in Revelation, or Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 1, he says his incorruptible spirit is in all things. So, you know, we're not sure if he'll destroy Esau, Edom forever, and then they come under the other nations, because that spirit is incorruptible. But we don't know. He might actually just destroy them forever. Who knows? what we know for now, they're going to be destroyed. So then we're going to go to Revelations. Actually, let me read one more precept after that. Verse 12, furthermore, when I came to Trosh to preach Mashiach's gospel, and a door was opened unto me of the Lord, which he had that truth. I had no rest in my spirit because I found not Titus my brother, but taking my leave of them, I went thence to Macedonia. So that was going on at that time, you know. We weren't ignorant of Satan's devices then. We're not ignorant of them now. So Revelations, and this is part of this, what he's doing with this juice box is part of his great wrath. So therefore rejoice ye heavens, Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. And ye that dwell in them, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea. For the devil, which Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have a short time. And we know this last juice box has been people dropping dead left and right. So, you know, suddenly. So we know not to mess with this devil shit. This is Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies, ye are physicians of no value. And this is what they do. They forge these juice boxes. They forge this whack-ass society that have forged all this bullshit. And it's no value, man. It's going to come to naught. It's going to come to filth, toothpicks. Alright, so we're going to do Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. And it reads, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, right? Because he's trying to get rid of Israel. They're really trying to get rid of a whole lot of people. You know, you even look over there, was another article I seen. And I guess it was in China. It was like 2 million extra people. They like 2 million more people died, okay, than what they expected. But you know, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us out of here so they can start their shit. The little new world order is gonna completely turn to ashes. But the war was in his heart, which means mine. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, okay? So that's how these demons is. They make it seem like they here to help us, but you know, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, y'all know damn well this damn devil ain't never done no good for us since forever. So Matthew chapter 24, verse 24, verse 3. And it reads, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? What shall the sign of the sign of thy coming and the end of the world, right? So when is going to be the end of the world? We was asking them this last time, you know, as believers, you know. Verse 4, and Yahawashi answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, right? For many shall come in my name, saying I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. So we know there's going to be more people that come up and act like they're here to save our ass. They might not, even if they're not even saying that they're Mashiach. In Mashiach, in Christ, and Beta Hebrew just means anointed one. So there's going to be many that come in and say, well, we're here to help you. We're here to make sure you're safe. Okay, and then you're going to have some that are actually saying they're Mashiach. And we don't want to be deceived by none of these people, right? Talking about, oh, we need this to protect you from the juice box terror. No, motherfucker, leave us alone. Psalms chapter 10, verse 15. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Psalms chapter 10, verse 5. And I really wanted to read Psalms chapter 10, verse 15, but I'm going to do this first. His ways are always grievous Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. And that's how we supposed to be doing too. We supposed to be puffing at this devil, like being like, we ain't hearing your bullshit. Stay the fuck away from me. Okay? Until the time comes where you can do something about me chanting your shit to the ground. Psalms chapter 10, verse 15. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. And that's our job. That's what we gotta be searching through every day through these articles and things to point out what the fuck this devil doing so we can be aware of what the hell he got going on. You know? So we're gonna do Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 7. And this is another thing right here. No, Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 14. That's where I want to go. Go down to 14, verse 7. Yeah. And it reads, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last he will declare his wickedness. So we know that at the last moment of any time that he does anything, he's going to declare his wickedness. He doesn't do good on his own. So if you got one of these damn Edomites do anything good for you, it's because the Lord made him do it. It ain't even in their power. So we're going to go right here. Next topic. Putin ally issues World War III threat. Make sure this ain't too loud. Right. So as I was saying, Putin ally issues World War III threat as Western allies supply Ukraine with fighter jets. Right? So this is getting a little bit more. The war is coming closer. We know it's not going to happen until the sea hit. It's mandatory, but we still watching it. So it says the top ally in Russia, President Vladimir Putin, has warned a new threat of World War III after Western allies agreed to supply Ukraine with high-powered F-16 fighter jets, planes which may take too long to arrive. Dmitry, I think that's how you say that. Medvedev, I think they said that, the Russian Security Council deputy chairman, accused the West of pushing the world to another war for ignoring Moscow's concerns. Russian news agency TASS reported on Saturday. Frankly speaking, it would have definitely been better if they had heard them. If they had heard them. In any case, talking about the signals or something, the world would not have to face the threat of World War III. In fact, this is where our opponents are actively pushing everyone. So, you know, this is the Lord bringing these damn heathens, you know, closer and closer as the days go by. You know, the separation is continuing. So, we're going to do Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. And it reads, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes hereafter. Right? We know things is going to go down. You know? Now we're going to do Second Esdras chapter 16, verse 17. Now it says, woe is me who will deliver me in those days. And we know that's talking about Esdras when he was in the Persian captivity, and he was writing these things, and he was getting visions from the Lord. Okay, the Lord sent his angel down to Esdras, and he had 3 visions of America, Babylon the Great being destroyed. Okay, and the fact that he said this, it shows that he's here today. We just don't know who he is, but we know he is prophesying the downfall of this kingdom. He's one of the hopeful elect. So we know that. We have faith. Anything that the Lord says is coming to pass or is going to come to pass. This is something that's already being passed right now. He's literally reading his own words today. You know? Just doesn't remember who he is, just like the rest of us. So 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. The Lord knows who he is, though. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Right? We know it's going to get real. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, and that's really talking about your spiritual parents. Okay, a great millstone. And then also, you know, some people disobedient to their physical parents, but it's mainly talking about people who have came into this light and have gotten the knowledge from Yahawah, Bahasham, and Yahawashi, and that was passed down to his men that he chose. And they, you know, went off and tried to do their own thing. That's mainly what it's talking about. See, unthankful, unholy, right? Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, and incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Now it says they hate thee that rebuke it at the gate. You see? And all this is going to lead up to a lot of bloody ass shit. So we have to be ready in the spirit when this time comes. You know, it's going to be a bloody ass battle across the whole earth. And our people still playing around. And this is what we got to make sure that we stick with. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Acts chapter 4, verse 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. So we know this is the only name that's going to save us when we go into affliction in times that are tough. Because if we come over and talk about, oh, Jesus Christ saved me, there were no J's back then 2,000 years ago. So that's not the name that was given. It was Yahawashi. And we know that. But the Lord doesn't want everybody to know that. So this is Malachi chapter 1, verse 6. This is what he's about to do to these heathens. You know, he's about to take their ass out, but we're going to have to be in the middle of it and trust Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi pulls us out of here. So Malachi chapter 1, verse 6, a son honoreth his father, right? And a servant his master, which is us. We servants to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So we honor him by doing what he says do. If then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? See, we're supposed to have honor and fear of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, right? Saith the Lord of hosts unto you, O priests, that despise my name. So that's talking about those false prophets, you know, who don't even want to call on the name of Yahawashi and Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, right? And ye say, wherein have we despised thy name, right? He said, ye offer polluted bread upon my altar, and say, wherein have we polluted thee? In that ye say, the table of the Lord is contemptible. Yeah, right? So that's what they act like. They act like they ain't done nothing wrong and act like they haven't sinned against Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Shalom. Yeah, they act like they haven't sinned against Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And it's, you know what I mean? It's all just part of the, you know, of the Lord's will for some of our people to just be ignorant, you know, and not understand prophecy and understand that the names of the Lord were taken away from us and they weren't given back until a certain time. So Isaiah chapter 26 verse 9, that's why he gonna make them take that damn juice box. Isaiah chapter 26 verse 9, with my soul I have desired thee in the night, yea, with my spirit within me I will seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. So then they gonna finally learn righteousness whenever the Lord's fucking their ass up. Okay, that's when they're gonna find out. That's why we don't need to worry about if you try to tell somebody this truth and they don't stick with it, or they just start, you know, taking their time with it. Hey, they wanted to play around with it. Cool, just let them do their thing. You know, you don't want to push too much on somebody. They ain't really understanding the seriousness of it. Shit, let their ass find out then with everybody else. So this is BRICS member India ditches US dollar, right? Purchases $1 billion in barrels of oil with rupees for the first time ever. Okay, so we all know what the BRICS is. You know, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, a bunch of other people too that are with it. So, member India has reportedly purchased oil from the United Arab Emirates using its national currency for the first time ever. So this is a big deal. They didn't use bread. They didn't use the dollar. Okay, so this is the first split. Last week, two nations appeared to have started trading using their local currencies after energy company Indian Oil made payments in rupees for purchasing 1 million barrels of oil from the state-owned Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. India is not the only BRICS nation to purchase energy from the UAE without going through the US dollar. So they're starting to all do it. Right? In March, the oil company and China National Offshore Oil Corporation reportedly in yuan to import 65,000 tons of liquefied natural gas from the UAE. So they already been on this mission to get rid of the dollar. Okay? They just haven't been talking about it. But now they're just about ready to damn run off on this bitch. So Isaiah chapter 44 verse 18, and it reads, they have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes, they cannot see, and their hearts which their mind, they cannot understand. What does 2/3 of our people don't understand? They don't understand that this place is finna go to the ground, man. They don't understand the danger that is coming. No matter what we tell them, we could tell them whatever. We could tell them they sending missiles over here tomorrow in the air. They're in the air. They're gonna be like, well, what? You got any proof? Like, that's how they are. Because the Lord don't want them to get it. You know, this is not for the masses. This is for the elect. And we hope to be part of that number. So Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 19. And it reads, they shall cast their silvers in the streets, and their gold shall be removed, and their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in that day of the wrath of the Lord. Right? How do we know? Because they already not using the shit. Okay? They're not using anything over here. And it's going to gradually get to a point where they're like, we don't need your shit. We trade with our own shit. Everybody on the other side of the earth, in the east. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, but the casting of gold and silver in the streets is over here, in America, Babylon the Great. So neither fill their bowels, which means what? Like famine, stuff like that, because it's the stumbling block of their iniquity. See? It causes sin upon sin. Okay? All that money got their hearts lifted up over here and they think they can't get destroyed. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. And it reads, and it shall be as a chaste roe and a sheep that no man hath taken up, and as a sheep, Salakia, that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land. And that's what they're doing right now. They leaving this place. Right? You know that. Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And it reads, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her. What is that saying? That's talking to the elect of Israel, whomever they are, to come out of this place spiritually. Because it's not talking about physically, because that means that he couldn't redeem us from captivity. He said he shall redeem us without money. All right? To my people, so be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And I want to go ahead and pull that up. You know, if he's gonna redeem us without money, that means what? You don't need to go nowhere. Because if you was gonna leave and go to another nation and go to another place other than America, Babylon the Great, that takes a lot of money. And you're gonna take that money, you're gonna go over there, and the Lord's gonna judge your ass because you didn't listen. Isaiah chapter 52, verse 3, for thus saith the Lord, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money. So we don't have to use physical means to escape Babylon this time. The Lord's going to come get us, and if he don't come get us and we have to, die here for the truth's sake, so be it, man. That's what a real soldier of Yahawashi is understanding and prepared to do. So as a follower of Yahawashi, that's the first thing you got to understand when you come into this truth, is be prepared to die for this truth, and count the cost. Because the people who stop doing this work, once they start doing it in the vineyard, their judgment is going to be probably a lot more worse than the heathens. All right? So U.S. Army engulfed in crisis, American youth disillusioned with military service, recruitment goals falter. So this is kind of an update on what's been going on over there, because I talked about this maybe a month ago. Come back, see what's going on with it. While the U.S. military finds many people unfit to join forces, right? Generation Z, and why they call it Generation Z, just the last motherfuckers who's gonna get to be reincarnated back in the earth, man. That's why they saying Generation Z. This is the last time, man. Just like he said right here. See, that made me want to pull it up. That's why they're talking about Generation Z, the kids of everybody, right? Hold on. I spelled something wrong, but it's gonna pop up. Yep. 1 John chapter 2, verse 18. Little children, it is the last time that we gotta come the fuck back here and deal with this damn demon. And as ye have heard that anti-Mashiach, which is, they call it Antichrist, which is anti-anointed, shall come. Even now there are many anti-Mashiachs, whereby we know that it is the last time. We know it's the last time. We know. Okay? Generation Z. The last letter in this whack-ass alphabet that's going to get completely cast out. So it's not particularly enthused about joining the all-volunteer force for fighting wars in other countries. Why? We're going to find out in a second. Resulting in the U.S. military recruitment reaching crisis levels. The last 2 decades of war have caused public confidence in the U.S. Army to plummet, with only 60% of respondents saying they have confidence in the U.S. military because their brain doesn't work. The Gallup poll statistics are the lowest in over 2 decades, just before everybody starts shooting missiles. U.S. military personnel were fighting in Afghanistan and Iraq during this period. So we don't gotta read too much more than that. You get it. They're fucked. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna type in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 5. And it reads, everyone that is proud in heart, and you know they got the few, the proud, the Marines. They're proud in their mind because they've been killing everybody and getting away with it for a long time. They're finna get dealt with. So everyone that is proud in heart, which is their mind, is an abomination to the Lord. Through hand, though hand joined in hand, he shall not be unpunished. And you see how it says in their mind, basically, because that's what heart means, mind. So if you're proud in the mind, the Lord, he looks at you as an abomination. That's why we're not supposed to think highly of ourselves. We're servants and messengers. That's it. Nothing more than that. If you think we anything else more than that, then you're going off. Just tone it down and know that we just here to serve the Lord and hopefully we don't die. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 2. And it reads, when pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom. See, so the ones that don't got much in life, people that's dealing with all types of damn shit, we can't get a damn break. You know, it's always something with Jake, always having to deal with something, but we have the wisdom. Okay, so even though they have all this pride and whatnot, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be anything. It's gonna be vanity at the end of the day. So we know that we're in the right spot right now where we're at when it comes to our mindset, being lowly. James chapter 4 verse 6. But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, Yahawah, which is the Most High, resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. See? So when we humble ourselves under this truth, you know, we can always, you know, look forward to the grace of Bahasham Yahawashi. You know. So this is Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 17. And it reads, thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty, talking about America, Babylon the Great. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by the reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. And that's what's been to go down. Okay? That's why they're getting threats of World War III and whatnot, because this is about to happen. Isaiah chapter 2 verse 12. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. And the elect is going to watch it happen. So we got to prepare our souls, got to prepare our spirits to be able to watch these people get taken down with all their pride. You know, we're going to have to see that shit, and it's not going to be pretty. It's going to get messy. Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near, it is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Yeah, the ones that's left, we can already see that damn near none of them want to be there anyways. Job 27:14. We know ain't nobody in Generation Z no damn mighty man. They ain't about shit. Okay, they just want to chill, eat, play video games, and breathe on shit. They don't want to fucking learn nothing. Damn near none of them. Okay, some of them do, but they're probably of the elect children. Job chapter 27 verse 14. If his children be multiplied, talking about Esau, even so-called white man, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Why? Because they know it's a big ass war finna happen, okay? And they just, you know, they're not happy with this place, okay? The economy's fucked up. They ain't getting, they didn't get the glorious Babylon the Great. They got the fucking end of the stick, okay, when the bitches finna get blown up. So they're not happy about being here either. They're like, I don't want to go fight for this shit. Come back to this damn shit. Y'all don't even fix the damn roads. So we gonna come over here. It says a mystery company. I don't know how it's a mystery. You motherfuckers got all the damn money. Backed by Silicon Valley, billionaires has purchased tens of thousands of acres of land for more than $800 million to build a new city near San Francisco. So while World War III finna kick off, these motherfuckers finna build a whole nother city. Okay? So, you get the point. I just want to, point that out and put in some precepts about it, because it's going to come to naught. They going to think that shit don't get built up and it's going to get blown up. So, Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. So go back to Malachi. We'll start at 1. And it reads, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel, which we know is the so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites, right? By Malachi. Verse 2, I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob. See? He loved Jacob. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. This is already came to pass, right? They were destroyed. Okay? And it says, whereas Edom said, so-called white men, this is his descendants, we are impoverished, but we will return. So if they went impoverished, that means what? They didn't have shit, but we will return, which means what? They're going to be reincarnated and build the desolate places, which is all the places that the Lord laid waste, and all over across the four corners of the earth. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. That's why they got a military base in everybody's backyard. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. That's what he's finna do. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation, which is like, fierce wrath, fierce anger, forever. And that's what they're doing right now. They're about to build this shit, and the Lord's going to throw it to the ground. Malachi chapter 3 verse 6. And this is the thing. Like, these Christians always be talking like the Lord is going to change that shit or something. Like, we're in the new covenant. He's not going to do that now. No, he's going to do that shit. Malachi chapter 3 verse 6, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob, not Esau, because he hates his ass, right, are not consumed, right? Consumed with these lies and this false doctrine and all this other stuff. But this shows you that the Lord really meant forever what he said forever. He's always going to hate Esau. They're never going to be cool. As it is written, Romans chapter 9 verse 13, when it says as it is written, anywhere in the Bible is talking about like it was written in the Old Testament. Jacob I have loved, but Esau I hated. So we know the Lord's going to take care of their ass, okay? He's going to fuck their ass up. Matthew chapter 24 verse 38. And it reads, for as in the days that they were before the flood, they were eating and drinking. Just the days before everything's on fire, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving into marriage. This is Yahawashi speaking as well, because it's in the red. Until the day that Noah, it says Noah, but that's Noah, entered into the ark, right? And right now, that's what we're doing. We're entering into the ark, but spiritually, through this truth, okay? We're being sealed, as we learn this truth and we stick with it, okay? We're being sealed, and we pray to be the ones who are sealed and endure to the end, because there's some people that you might have thought they were sealed and then they stopped doing the work. They stopped believing. So when it comes down to it, they were never with us, okay? And knew not until the flood came and took them all the way, so shall the coming of the Son of Man would be, Okay, it's going to take them all away. And I want to bring that up now since I quoted it. First John chapter 2 verse 19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would have no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. So that's what I'm saying. If you try to leave this truth and go back in the world, it ain't no coming back. You know, you might think you back, but hey, the Lord's not accepting that sacrifice. He's not going to accept that. So we got to make sure we stick with the shit. Isaiah chapter 63 verse 1. And it reads, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Okay, which is like the capital cities of Esau, Edom. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, right? Because he's got all that military power. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, right? It says, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, right? Red in thine apparel. That's why they say Esau, Edom came out red, rednecks. They're Edomites. And thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat, right? I have trodden the wine press alone. And when it's talking about trotting the wine press alone, it's gonna be blood all over his garment. It's gonna be bloody, man. And the people there was, and of the people there was none with me. Because why? Because he took the elect up in the chariots. Okay? During this series of time. Now, we know that him and the 144,000 men, Yahawashi, are going to come back down and slay some other shit, everything else, and take Esau, Edom into slavery. But there's going to be a section of it where Yahawah just goes ham by itself. He just jacks shit up. For I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. They ain't telling you that in church. For the day of vengeance is in my heart. The year of my redeemed is come. Talking about the elect. He's coming back to get them. Verse 5. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury upheld me. See? And that's what it's going to do. The Lord is going to make sure that he handles it. Okay? Verse 6, and I will tread them down, and I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring their strength to the earth. So while they're trying to build shit, that's what's finna happen to their ass. They finna get took out. These damn Edomites right here. Them and whoever else the fuck likes them. So if we're gonna go over here, this is my last article. I got some precepts, and then I'm out. This is hundreds of migrants killed by Saudi border guards, and I posted this on my comment board, about 4 or 5 days ago, but the Lord put the spirit on me to go ahead and bring it up. So Saudi border guards are accused of mass killing of migrants along the Yemeni border in a new report by Human Rights Watch. Report says hundreds of people, many of them Ethiopians, who crossed war-torn Yemen to reach Saudi Arabia have been shot dead. Migrants told BBC that they had limbs severed by gunfire and saw bodies left on the trails. Saudi Arabia has previously rejected all allegations of systematic killings, even though there's body parts in the street. The Human Rights Watch report, titled "They Fired on Us Like Rain," contains graphic testimony from migrants who say they were shot at and sometimes targeted with explosive weapons by Saudi police and soldiers on Yemen's rugged northern border with Saudi Arabia. And people don't understand, this kind of shit is going to happen over here. Okay? This shit's gonna go down. So we gotta be tapped in with Bahasham and Yahawashi so we can be delivered in that time. Okay? Shit's gonna be real. Migrants contacted separately by BBC have spoken of terrifying nighttime crossings during which large groups of Ethiopians, including many women and children, came under fire as they attempted to cross the border and search for work in the rich oil-rich kingdom. See, men and women, children, and everything. They just shooting at their ass like they can defend themselves. Okay. So the Lord is putting the spirit on these demons to go ahead and do this shit, because 2/3 of our people is all over the earth, and they don't want to come back to Yahawashi, and everybody else is just getting judged. Okay. This is what it means. This whole entire world right now, the way it is, this is what it means to sin against Yahawashi. You go through this shit. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord, Yahawashi. So that time's gonna come, and they're gonna be trying to destroy us too. It's gonna come that time. You see? So we have to be prepared in the spirit, and it said wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of our time. So we gotta have this knowledge as much as we can and keep it. So this is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 1. And this is kind of what that situation, can relate to this. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. Right? And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a righteous inkhorn by his side, and they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the Most High of Israel was gone up from the cherub, whereupon he was to the threshold of the house, and he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. What the Lord told him to do. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem starts with us because we're cast out. So we're basically Jerusalem anywhere we're at. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abomination that be done in the midst of her. Where do they be doing that at? On the unicorn, which is the internet, and also out there on the highways and byways. Okay? We do it at the house and we do it outside. We do it both ways. And that's why we're hoping that gives us that mark upon our foreheads, that the men about the one that's exempt from judgment. And this is why you got to look up words too, because when you go look up that word in Revelation chapter 3 verse 16, it doesn't say what this mark means. This is a whole different mark. Okay, you looking over there, it says Karagma. When you look at this one, okay, this is why we follow Great Millstone, because they're the ones who showed us how to do this stuff. Okay, you got people who they're just too damn proud. They feel like it's just like you're just like the weakest person on the earth for listening to Great Millstone. This is fucking retarded, but whatever, So we're gonna look at that word mark. Right there, right? You go look at it in Revelations, it doesn't say this. In Revelations chapter 13, it's not the same mark, see?
Strong's H8420. Tav.
Desire mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. See? A desire. So while everybody else is getting marked, we're trying to get marked like this. That's why we're doing the work. And that's what we're saying how serious this is. A scribble limit mark, make or set a mark to marks to set a mark. Okay, that's the the root word. But it's a spiritual mark. Okay? And we're getting marked by doing this work for Yahawashi. Okay? In the spirit. And it said basically after that, when you come back over here, after that, what does it say? It says, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. And that's what they did over there with all the migrants. Slay utterly old, young, both maids and little children, and woman, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. They began at the ancient men which were before the house. See, he's judging the house of Israel first, but the Lord, he's no respecter of persons. And it's like, you try to tell somebody who's like somebody who goes to the the churches, the worldly churches, they'd be like, the Lord said he'd kill babies. He just told them to go in there and kill them. What are you talking about? He said go in there and kill old, young, both maids and little children. He said kill everybody who ain't got the mark. Okay? The Lord's not playing, man. Now we're going to go over here and show we should supposed to be on the highways and byways. Okay? This is Isaiah chapter 19. We have to be on the highways and byways and prove it, to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, not man, but we have to show it, because it's supposed to be a witness unto them. It doesn't mean they have to be listening. They just have to be a witness, and then the end's gonna come. So they have to see us doing the shit, and we have to do it through the internet so everybody can see it. Because if we don't do that, then you're only gonna mark 5 people or some shit or whatever. Not enough. Okay. So it's got to go in through the unicorn, which is the internet. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 16. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, right? And they shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And I know all the damn floods and shit and all types of shit I done put across, my comment board, and people getting shot the fuck up and shit. You should be afraid of Yahawah, right? And the hand of Judah, which is so-called Negroes, shall be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself. And that's how these Edomites is. When we tell them shit, they be acting like they don't fucking hear us. They be like, yeah, whatever, bro. They be terrified as fuck. Because the counsel of the Lord of the hosts, which he have determined against it. See, we are against this place. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear to the Lord of hosts. One shall be called the city of destruction, okay, which is America, Babylon the Great. That's what we call this place spiritually, Sodom and Egypt, like it said in Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. And that day, what's that day? Right now, shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, right? So when you look at that word pillar, okay, because it said there should be an altar. Who's the altar? That's us. We're the altar. Okay? Those men who he's marking, they're sighing and crying, to the border thereof. So we're going to look at that word pillar, because it said there will be a pillar at the border thereof, right? Who's the pillar? It's those men. All the ones that's doing it. They're the pillar. Okay?
Strong's H 4676. Matseva,
because you remember in Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, it says, present yourself as a living sacrifice. See, as monument, personal memorial, right? It's supposed to be a stump. We're supposed to be the fuck out there doing damn work, okay? And I usually do camp on Friday, but, I did some lessons and I was fellowshipping. So I'm going to start moving my camps to Monday, because Sunday I do camp with my elder. So I'm going to start doing camp Monday. Every Monday now. To be able to, switch it over to fellowship, because I'm starting to get more acquainted with the brotherhood, and the brotherhood comes first. So, after that, I'm going to read just one more precept. After this, I'm going to read this precept, and I got one more precept, and then I'm done. Y'all know I usually take about an hour. There's a new potential brother who's watching my stuff and was like, he's like, yo, it was a little long, but I got it, But I was like, hey, well, it's like this. If you ain't in this for the long run, you might as well get out now, okay? Because this is what we do, What you love, what you put your time into is what you love. So if you love Bahasham, Yahawashi, you're going to put your time in that over everything. That's how we're supposed to be. Verse 20, it shall be a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto the Lord. Why? Because the oppressors, these whack-ass motherfuckers we got to come work for, they be tripping over dumb shit. And he shall send them a savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them. And that's what we're counting on. We're counting on Yahawashi to come get us. Verse 21, and the Lord shall be known to Egypt and the Egyptians, who is that? So-called white men, first and foremost, and then the other 16 nations, because none of them were given the laws. They were only given to Jacob. Shall know the Lord. They'll know him in that day. What did we see earlier? He said they ain't going to understand judgment until the Lord executed, right? So they don't know shit with their whole name right now. The Egyptians shall know the Lord in that day, which is coming, and shall do sacrifice and oblation. Yea, they shall vow a vow unto the Lord and perform it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're performing it. And the Lord shall smite Egypt. He shall smite and heal it. And they shall return even to the Lord. And he shall be entreated of them and shall heal them. And that's what we count, dog. We count to be healed. Okay? And when it's talking about the Egyptian and Assyria, that's really talking about the elect. Okay? That's not talking about them. Okay? They're going to get fucked up. We're going to get healed. And that day there shall be a highway. What's that highway? That highway is this truth, man. That's this truth, that straight gate. And, Lord put the spirit on me. I want to look at this real quick. I'm going a little bit more into it. I haven't read this in a little while, So I like, this is like was one of my favorite scriptures when I came to the truth. So highway, right? I want to go look at the root word. It says raised way, public road. That's not what it is. Staircase. Okay, it's really saying like spiritual.
Strong's H 4546.
Mesela. Okay, yeah, it's saying like, a course. Okay, it says only one man can enter through at once. This is this highway. Okay, it's a spiritual, and we're all single file order line getting in. I just want to see what this says. See if I can put. Yeah, I don't want to use none of that. Because just because the concordance says something doesn't mean that it pertains to what the Lord is spiritually saying. That's why you have to have teachers. You can't just be like, oh, well, it said that. Like, no. They don't tell you. When I first came into truth, like I found, I was listening to one of the elders, and they was like, Adam came from the soil. There ain't no damn white soil nowhere. But I would have never thought of that if they wouldn't have said nothing. Like, you gotta have teachers, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 7. So since we said all that's gonna happen, what are we supposed to be doing? Make no tarrying on turn to the Lord, because we know that while we're not making no tarrying to turn to the Lord, you got the people who are with the Lord and doing His work, and they're saying, Lord, don't tarry, fuck it up. So that's why you don't want to tarry, turn to the Lord, because He mess around and answer their ass, and you do not tarry, you tarry it. Like, you taking your time and putting out off from day to day, right? We supposed to be doing this shit every day. But suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance, man. We ain't trying to be that, man. We doing this work, So, Lord willing, those edifying to the flock. Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praise to Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Bahasham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Led me to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, willing to be part of that number. Lord, willing to be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and to strive and show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. The judgment always comes. To light Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5, it is not like 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 42. Wild ball, the water for tuning in. Lord, want to be able to exalt the name of Yahawashi yet another day. Lord, will know is edifying to you. And the water for tuning in. Yahawashi Barak Atham. Shalom.